And without further ado, I'd like to introduce our Gridiron Gladiators. First, the 4-4 visiting Brantford Bisons. Number 1, Devin Pratt. Number 2, Tay Lovell. Number 3, Cody Finnegan. Number 4, Andrew Cosbar. Number 5, Raiden Skelton. Number 6, Ryan Crabb. Number 7, Sebastian Laval Tyrone. Number 8, Ryan Hill. Number 9, Isaac Cheruka. Number 10, Michael Kenny. Number 10, Jared John. Number 12, Jaden Lewis. Number 14, Callum Moyer. Number 17, Joshua Lightfoot. 18, Caleb Davidson. 19, Ty DeJong. 21, Benjamin Gibbons. 23, Caleb Lederman. 28, Nolan Ncu. 30, Dustin Hine. 32, Nolan Potts. 34, Daniel Jamison. 45, Tanner Simpson-Stone. 50, Gavin Magoon. 51, Armin Bangu. 52, Francis Thomas. 54, Aiden Blue Sky. 55, Jaden John. 56, Oliver Miller Brazo. 60, Tanner Geertz. 64, David Skripzak. 65, Dante Kolakovo. 72, Connor Hanna. 75, Jake Huggins. 76, Chris Lyons. 82, Chris Leota. 83, Cody Youngblunt. 86, Rory Guest. And 89, Jarrett Runge. Head coach Norm Kelly and the rest of the Brantford Bisons. Now let's meet our Chatham-Kent Cougars. Number 1, Darian Bassick Haddon. Number 2, James Cochran. Number 3, Trevor Lawton. Number 4, Evan Cole. Number 6, Ethan Chanier Lane. Number 20, Tyler Shumansky. Number 9, Brett Wagerson. Number 10, Evan Starr. Number 11, Joseph Dockstader. 12, Owen Malott Bennett. 14, Brady DeVoe. Number 16, Ryan Grelmore. 18, Lucas Rupert. 19, Jonathan Sanderson. 21, Brandon Benoit. 23, Corin Stewart. 24, Logan Stefina. 25, Quinn Hitchcock. 32, Jude Pearson. 33, Christian Burgoon. Number 34, Mitchell Fortuna. Number 17, Cameron Sanderson. 44, LJ Hines. 50, James Bond. 51, Braxton Anderson. 52, Jordan Alderdice. 53, Owen Stevenson. 55, Dennis Routs. Number 56, Edwin Acosta. Number 70, Brennan Dodman. 81, Bennett Hart. 84, Braden Charbonneau. And 88, Ethan Hemming. Head coach Herb McCauley and the rest of his staff.
We welcome you back into playoff football. The Chatham-Kent Cougars into the postseason and the conference semifinals on home field. Mike Renier with you at the Chatham-Kent Community Athletic Complex. It is the Cougars JV squad. The junior varsity is taking on the Brantford Bisons. Great season for the JVs of the Cougars. First place finish, and now a little squib kick by Brantford trying to get things going. And they will recover the squib kick. Good job by Ryan Crabb. He kicked it and he recovered it himself. And the Bisons will start off this football game with the possession of the football. So they're just trying to set the tone in this football game early on.
First down, Bisons at the Cougar 45.
Right at the Cougar 45, so they also have some great field position in this conference semifinal game, league quarterfinal game, kicking off the postseason. Beautiful night here in Chatham-Kent. Brantford starts under the gun. They hand it off to the running back. A big seam along the right side. Still on his feet. Heading off to the sideline towards the end zone. Can he make it in? It's close. Touchdown, Brantford. What a start by the Bisons. Catching the Cougars way off guard. What a big, big start. 45-yard run. And the Bisons hit the score sheet first. And the Cougars a bit stunned on this start of the football game. Bisons primed to kick it away. And they recovered the kick. And it takes just one play for the touchdown as they look to add on to it here. And now they will go for the two-point convert. They lined up for the kick. And it is no good. So the Cougars get a bit of a break there as they prevent any more points going on the board. But a hot start for Brantford. They have a 6-0 lead, just 30 seconds into this conference semifinal game here in Chatham-Kent. Cougars will try their first offensive series now. I say the Cougars prime for offense, but we'll see. They were caught off guard with that last squib kick that was recovered by Brantford, so they'll have that now in the back of their minds with every kickoff from the Bisons from their 45-yard line. And another kick along the sidelines. That does not go 10 yards as the flags come flying out. Football only went about 5 yards before it looked to get touched by Brantford. So the Cougars will have the football in pretty good field position. It will be in Brantford territory. Trying to get back on even terms, if not better, on the Cougars' first offensive possession of the night. From the Bisons 53, 6-0 for Brantford very early in this game. Cougars keep it on the ground, and the front line of Brantford right there to make the stop. That will back up the football over 5 yards, it appears, all the way back to the Cougars' 50-yard line, a 7-yard loss. Everything going Brantford's way very early on in this football game. Cougars have to recoup now. Get some of those yards back. As they look back to pass along the near side, it is hauled in for a completion and a first down and a whole lot more. A big pickup for the Cougars. Braden Charbonneau, some great concentration, hauls that one in, and a whole lot of yards after the catch as he gets up to the 35-yard line of Brantford. That's exactly what the Cougars needed there. Get a little shot on the arm with the offense. And a big pass play there, Charbonneau. Gets a 1st and 10 for the Cougars. And a timeout. After that big pass play, now the Cougars want to talk some things over. Timeout, Chatham-Kent. After that Cougar timeout, they go back to work on offense. 1st and 10 for Chatham-Kent with Bassick Haddon back to pass. Long way down that far side. He's got a man. He hauls it in for the completion. Trying to get into the end zone. Touchdown, Cougars. That did not take long to get back on even terms. Tyler Shumansky on that throw from Bassick Haddon. And the Cougars are evened up now with Brantford, a 6-6 tie as they look to break the tie with the extra point. It's up and through from Stefina, so the Cougars grab the lead with a touchdown of their own. A quick score after Brantford's quick score off the top of the game. Now 7-6, the Cougars have the lead. And still 10:22 left to go in the first quarter. Lots of time to go, and the Cougars with a slim lead now. Stefina kicks it away for the Cougars. Good solid kick picked up by Brantford. And the run back to the 35-yard line, and no further than that. Mitchell Fortuna with the stop. And Isaac Chiruka on the return for the Brantford Bisons. They get their second offensive possession. A 7-6 Cougar lead.
First down, Brantford at their own 35.
Out of the gun formation, they pass it off to the running back along that right side, turning the corner, trying to find some room. Good job by the Cougars to not give them much room at all. Isaac Chiruka with the assignment on the ground. And looks like a pickup of 3 on first down, so 2nd and 7 now coming up for the Brantford Bisons. This conference semifinal. Cougars junior varsity squad beginning the postseason. A great 2019 campaign, trying to keep the train rolling here tonight. Great weather and a good crowd here on their home field tonight. On 2nd and 7, quarterback scrambling off to his right, trying to find his seam, and along the sidelines.
Hey, Level rolls out to the far side. Can't find the open receiver.
Not a whole lot there, so 3rd down now coming up for Brantford. Actually looked like he dropped a couple of yards there too, so back to the original line of scrimmage on this 3rd down for Brantford.
35-yard line, 3rd down and 10.
On this 3rd down, special teams out there, punt formation for Brantford.
Timeout, Brantford.
And now it's going to be the Bisons who call time, talk this one over in a 7-6 Cougar lead. 8:44 to go in the first quarter. Each team now with the timeout taken in the first 4 minutes of this first quarter. Now on 3rd down and long, they're going to go for it. The Brantford Bisons are. Can the Cougars take them down? That might be enough for the first down to the 45-yard line.
Level number 2 with that fake punt.
Tay Level
Pushes his way down close to first down marker.
going to make it pretty close. So on special teams,
And that run is good enough for
Bisons lined up to punt it away, but they went for it. It was a good decision as they get just enough, about a half yard enough to get the first down. The chains move. So now first down for Brantford. They keep things going at their own 45-yard line. Once again, out of the gun formation, they'll now hand it off to the running back right up the middle, past the 50-yard line, gain of at least 5 on 1st and 10. And Isaac Chiruka once again getting the call, so he looks like he's going to be the number 1 guy to hand it off to on the ground this evening. They gave him an extra yard, so a 6-yard pickup on first down, 2nd and 4 coming up now. Cougars up by 1. And now early movement, and a couple of flags come out This appears that it's going to go against the Cougars, which would give Brantford the first down, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So on the penalty, the chains move again, and a fresh set of downs for Brantford.
5-yard penalty moves the ball into Cougar territory at the Cougar 54-yard line.
So now into Chatham-Kent territory. The Bisons have it first down and 10. Once again on the ground, right up the middle, and a whole bunch of players to the 50-yard line. Charuka once again. Pickup of close to 4 on that one. Second down coming up. We'll call it a 3-yard pickup, so 2nd and 7 coming up.
4-yard gain, 2nd down and 6 for Brantford.
And the quarterback keeps it this time around, fakes it out to the running back, keeps it himself, trying to push that pile for a first down, and they will. And a couple of yards on top of that also. So the Brantford Bisons methodically getting this football down the field. Both offenses look to be pretty slick so far early in this game.
First down, Brantford at the Cougar 41.
41-yard line of Chatham-Kent. Brantford Bisons with it, mostly on the legs of Isaac Charuka on this particular drive. And this time they will go to the air, and he's got his man. Pass caught, and promptly down is the receiver, Devin Pratt. So Pratt with the reception, however. In terms of yards gained, there's nothing there, and they lose about 1.5 yards. So 2nd and 11 coming up now. Good job by the Cougars D to stop Pratt before he gets to the line of scrimmage. 5 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Cougars 7 and the Bison 6. Conference semifinal. Quarterback dropping back to pass, trying to find his man downfield, and it is off the fingertips. Tate Lovell going down the field, and good coverage by the Cougars. Looks like Lucas Rupert, the defender who got a hand on that football, knocked it away, so good job. As now it's going to be 3rd down and close to 12 for Brantford. Last time they had a 3rd down situation, they faked a punt. Got the necessary yards to keep the drive going. Let's see what they call here. Looks like they're going to keep with it and try it. 3rd and 12 at the 41 at Chatham-Kent. Big play for both sides coming up here. Lovell looks downfield, drops back, trying to find somebody open. Now he has to scramble. He might have some room along that far side. Flag comes out, and here's Lovell with it. He's got a lot of yards along that far sideline.
Hey, Lovell calls his own number and scampers down the far side. There is a flag at the 50.
Let's see what the flag has in store now.
Holding call against the Bisons.
And it's going to be against Brantford, a holding call. So that is a tough one to take. A 10-yard penalty, so that makes a 3rd down and long. 3rd down and not much longer. So 3rd and about 21 coming up now.
Repeat 3rd down, 3rd and 21 for Brantford.
And it looks like a personnel change is now coming for the Brantford Bison, so they will now, on a 3rd and 21, punt this one away. Down by 1 to the Cougars. 4:04 to go in the first. And this time they will boot it away. No trickery. And this one will go out of bounds outside the 30-yard line. And the Cougars will take over. Up by a point at 7-6 Chatham-Kent. First quarter, 3:40 left. From their own 35, Cougars back on offense. They leave it on the ground, and Logan Stefina gets a couple. Call it about a 3-yard pickup for Stefina. So 2nd and 7 coming up now for the Cougars.
Down and 7 for the Cougars at their own 38.
They drop back to pass, and now maybe a broken play kept by the quarterback. He's got some room. His legs will get a first down and a whole lot more to midfield. Darian Bassig-Haddon with a first down on his own legs. Good call there by the quarterback. And Lovell on the other side, bringing down the Cougars quarterback. Lovell playing on both sides of the football here for the Bisons. 2:15 remaining in quarter number 1. Conference semifinal here for the Cougars. First place finish in the regular season, trying to keep the momentum going. Pitch off to the right-hand side, caught by the Cougars. 50-yard line and more, and all the way to the 45. Good job by the Cougars, and Wergerson with the catch. And good concentration and effort to keep those legs churning all the way to the 45, and that's going to be enough to move the chains once again, even the 44-yard line.
Way down to the Brantford 45-yard line, first down Cougars.
Another running play for the Cougars, up the middle and maybe a yard. That hole closed quickly up the middle from the front line of the Brantford Bisons. It was Shumansky on that attempt. He does get a yard, so 2nd and 9 coming up for the Cougars. Just past the 45-yard line.
Gain of 1 brings up 2nd down and 9.
On 2nd and 9, they look down the field along that far side and batted down by the Bisons. Looks like Dustin Hine, number 30, got his mitt on the football and knocked it down. And this will bring up 3rd down and 9 now for the Cougars as they have decision time as to what they want to do.
Third down and 9 at the Brantford 44.
And in Brantford territory by 10 yards, they're going to go for it. 3rd and 9. Quarterback's going to keep it, trying to turn the corner and get as many yards as he can. This is going to turn the ball over to Brantford as the Cougars get the football to the 40-yard line. Kept by Darian Bassig-Haddon. And a turnover on downs. The 40-yard line. So that's where Brantford will take over now, down by a point. The Cougars still up 7-6. And there's only 5 seconds left of the first quarter. This will be the last play of quarter number 1. Right up the middle. First down yardage and more for Brantford right up to midfield. Big burst of speed. Right up the gut. And Isaac Chiruka once again with that assignment. He has looked impressive in that first quarter. And our first down as we will now begin quarter number 2. A 7-6 Cougar lead after the first quarter here at the Chatham-Kent Community Athletic Complex. Second quarter, Brantford back with it, down by one of the Cougars, 1st and 10 near midfield. And right away, a flag or two comes popping out. And that will look to drop Brantford back 5 yards. Cougars will take that as the football comes now past the 50-yard line to around the 49 of the Bisons.
Puts them back at about their own 49-yard line. Repeat first down, 1st and 15.
They drop back to pass on 1st and 15, going a long way down the field. Jump ball. Who comes down with it? The Cougars intercept it. Back the other way to midfield and more. 50-yard line, and finally progress stopped inside the 50. Whole pile of players along that far sideline. Big INT for the Cougars, nursing a 1-point lead. And the junior varsity squad will now go back to work. Just inside the start of the second quarter.
Cougars had the ball first down at the Brantford 48.
On 1st and 10, they will put it on the ground right up the middle, and a big hit at the 45-yard line. After about a 4-yard gain. And bring up second down. Well, maybe he got a little bit more than that. Maybe at least 5 on the first down run. So 2nd and 5 coming up now for the Cougars. This time they look to go the air. Bassick had, and now the opportunity closes in a big way. Now the ball comes loose. Who's going to get to it first? Now it's blown dead as Trevor Lawton was in the area.
Gary Bassick had the quarterback under pressure. Ball did come loose. Play is blown dead by the officials.
And so now a 3rd down coming up for the Cougars.
There is a flag down on the near side here.
And we'll see what the flag has as it comes out right at the 40-yard line by us. So a penalty against the Cougars. So that's 2 penalty flags on that play. The one that is accepted is intentional grounding. So that's going to be a 3rd and long here for the Cougars. And they are in the punt formation. Back around midfield to boot it away. And a good punt. Lots of air under that one. And it will go right through the end zone, it appears. Unless maybe he will run it out. Maybe he will run it out. See if he makes it out or not. So it does come out of the end zone. It remains a 7-6 lead for the Cougars. Brantford now with the football very deep in their own zone. 9:29 to go in the first half. Back at it with Brantford football. They leave it on the ground on 1st and 10. Good job by the front line of the Cougars D. They saw that play right away. And 2nd down coming up now for the Bisons. It was only a 1-yard pickup up the middle for Brantford. 2nd and 9. 9 minutes even to go in the first half. Cougars 7, Bisons 6. Both teams with the points on the first time they touched the football. Second down, they go to the air, and this one underthrown, intended for number 4, Andrew Cosbore. That one underthrown by a couple of feet. So now 3rd down coming up for Brantford. 3rd and about 9, fairly deep in their own territory. And the personnel change, so it looks like they're going to punt it away. So good job by the Cougars defense to make this offensive drive a short-lived one for Brantford. High kick. Falls down around the 45-yard line. Picked up just beyond the 50 by the Cougars. A nice little run back here, 40, 35-yard line, and a good field position here for Chatham-Kent as it's run back by Shumansky. And the Cougars well situated on the field here midway through the second quarter. Still up by a point, 7-6 Chatham-Kent. Back to offense they go. And a penalty on that last run back. It's against the Cougars, so that will drop the football back all the way back into Chatham-Kent territory. And so they place the football around midfield. It's going to be around the Cougars' 53. So their field position not nearly as good right now after that unnecessary roughness. Down to 7:50 remaining in the second quarter. Cougars on offense. They look to go to the air on 1st and 10, and they've got a reception along the near side close to the 40-yard line. And that one hauled in by Braden Charbonneau, number 84. And that is going to be a Cougar first down. So nice pass play to get back into better field position. About the 42-yard line of Brantford. First and 10. Again on the ground. And right away, wrapped up and brought down is Brandon Benoit. Benoit gets about a yard. 2nd and 9 now for Chatham-Kent. Clock continues to run. 6:48 to go in the first half. And before the quarterback gets it out of his hands, the play whistle down. procedure against the Cougars. So quite a bit of penalty trouble in this drive offensively for the Cougars, so that sets them back another 5 yards. 2nd and 14 now. So right off the kickoff return, the Cougars had some very good field position, but immediately negated by the unnecessary roughness call. And now other penalty trouble gets them past the 45. And a big 2nd down and long now for the offense at Chatham-Kent. They go to the air. Bassick-Haddon now with a broken play, keeps it himself, trying to get his legs all the way down for first down yardage and more. Looks like he's got it as Darian Bassick-Haddon looked to go down the field, couldn't find anyone open, so he took it upon himself. And his legs did all that they had to do to move the chains. So a big 2nd down and long play by the quarterback as Bassick-Haddon will now move the chains. 5:40 to go until halftime. Bassick-Haddon again, he will keep it, trying to get past the pack of players there, and he won't get nearly as much success on that play. Gets a little bit of positive yards.
Kenny on the stop.
Kenny wraps him up for Brantford. And a face mask call against Brantford here. 5:14 to go. So now the penalty tides have turned in the favor of the Cougars now, as this now will bring the football all the way down to the 12-yard line for Brantford. Still a 7-6 Cougar lead. It's been that way for now a quarter and a half. And after that penalty against Brantford, very good field position for Chatham-Kent with Bassick-Haddon under center. He gets the snap. He'll pitch it off to Szymanski, but right there is Brantford. And now a whole slew of things happening now. And right when the Cougars had some penalty stuff go their way, it's now going back in the other direction right off that stop from Brantford. And some rough stuff after the whistle. Objectionable conduct. So again, they're shooting themselves in the foot with this penalty stuff with the football. And this backs them up a long way. Ball backed up to the 25 now. 2nd and long. Bassick-Haddon looks down the field, lets it go up the middle, jump ball, and that goes over the head of everybody. And incomplete, so now 3rd and long coming up for the Cougars in a 1-point game.
Cougars are faced with a 3rd down and long at the Brantford 25.
So on 3rd and very long from the 25-yard line, Cougars are going to go for it and see what happens from this play. All the way down the middle, and it goes off of 2 sets of hands off the intended receiver's fingertips. Szymanski is what that football was intended for, and also almost intercepted, but it goes past all sets of hands. And the result is a turnover on down, so the Brantford Bisons will get the football. A couple of promising sections of that drive offensively for the Cougars, looking to maybe expand their lead, but penalty trouble stunting that progress and momentum. And ultimately, it leads to a turnover on down, so Brantford now has it at the 25-yard line. Under 4 to play in the first half. First and 10. We'll shovel pass to the running back. Off to the left side and quickly over there to fill up the hole was the Cougars D. Pickup of very, very minimal, but a half a yard pickup on the ground. So second, about 9.5 coming up now for Brantford, down to 3:20 left in the first half.
Short gain on that play brings up the second down to 9 for Brantford at their 25.
Second down, and the quarterback in a bit of trouble. He's able to get it off to the receiver along the far side, but this will turn into a big loss. Good job by the Cougars to hang with it. And Braden Charbonneau with the tackle.
He lost about 6 on that play.
And this will bring up third and long. Third and 16. As the Bisons look to boot this one away once again. So this should result in a pretty good field position for the Cougars when all is said and done. Under 3 to go in the first half. So we've now hit the 3-minute warning. Clock back running again. Third and very long. Bisons look to boot it away. And pretty good kick. Fielded by the Cougars at the 45-yard line. Special teams, a good one for Brantford. Not allowing the return man, Shumansky, any yards whatsoever. But the Cougars still do have the football in Brantford territory to start off another drive at around the 47-yard line. 2:35 to go in the first half. 7-6 Cougars.
Cougars have the ball at the Bison 47-yard line. First down.
There you go. Sure. Cougars back on offense. Bassick Haddon back to midfield, trying to find somebody open downfield. Can't do it, so he's going to run it himself up to around the 40-yard line. So nice pickup by Bassick Haddon as he takes the reins himself. Second and 3 coming up now as the quarterback gains 7 himself. Trying to get 3 for the first down as quarterback Bassick Haddon hangs on to the football.
Close to the 35-yard line.
See if he gets it. Does he get it? He gets enough. He gets just enough to move the chains.
Good enough for a first down.
Just enough. Up to the 35-yard line. So first and 10, new fresh set of downs for Chatham-Kent. 2 minutes to go until halftime. Bassick-Haddon looks downfield. Now he's got a lot of pressure. He's got to hurry, and it's going to result now into a big sack. Big drop in yards here for the Cougars as the Brantford D was looking for blood there and took down the quarterback. So a big sack moves the football well past the 40-yard line to about the 42. So about a 7-yard sack against Chatham-Kent.
Second down, about 16 for the Cougars at the Bison 44.
Minute 15 until halftime. They hand it off. Bit of a seam along the near side. And past the 30-yard line. Not quite enough for the first down, but still a very good run by the Cougars and Tyler Shumansky. So that's exactly what they needed. Good field position here. Still third down. And they only need about 3.5, 4 yards for first downs. Minute 5 left to go. And it looks like they will be content to keep this drive alive, or at least try to get the first down. They're going to go for it in third and mid-range. Big third down here. Bassick-Haddon will hand it off. Little cut to the left-hand side, trying to turn the corner. It will be a first down and more towards the end zone. Can he get in? Touchdown! Whoa, what a run. Logan Stefina. Good job for Stefina just to stay in bounds, head towards the end zone, and just make it in. So a big 6 points now for the Cougars right before halftime. They have a cushion of 13-6 as they're trying to tack on some more here now. And Stefina adds to the total. A 14-6 lead for the Cougars. That is a big major score right at the tail end of the first half. Stefina making it a 14-6 game for the Cougars. Off the kickoff, a little bobble by the Bisons, but they recover.
Flag down on the far side at the 50.
Bennett. .37 seconds left for the Brantford Bisons to work with until halftime. Cougars with a big touchdown there from Stefina. And an 8-point lead at 14-6. Big line drive kick there for the Cougars, a big healthy kick. And now the return for Brantford. Pretty good return coming back the other way to the 40-yard line. And 30 seconds left in this first half. Keep it on the ground on 1st and 10. The Bisons do past the 45-yard line. Brought back by the Cougars, but the forward momentum will have the football around the 45, so about a 5-yard pickup on first down.
Next we go to 5-yard gain, stopped by Jude Pearson and L.J. Hines. Second down and 5 for Brantford at their own 45.
Looking down the field, and now a short little pass along that far side, and was it picked off or did it hit the turf? Trevor Lawton right there. And it is. It is an interception. It was a clean pick off the top of the turf, and an interception for Trevor Lawton with 4 seconds to go until halftime. So a more positive end to the first half right after that last-minute touchdown by the Cougars, led by Logan Stefina, and now that INT by Lawton. And the Cougars will have a shot at the end zone here with 4.5 seconds to go in the second quarter. Looking down the field as time will expire on the first half. Bassick had now a whole bunch of flags come out. And this will be against the Cougars.
Darian Bassick hadn't pass falls incomplete. There are multiple flags on the far side.
And now they will end the first half. On this conference semifinal, the Cougars have an 8-point lead heading into the dressing room, a 14-6 edge over the Brantford Bisons in this conference semifinal in the junior varsity level. 14-6 Cougars, back with second half action momentarily. The third quarter about to be beginning here at the Chatham-Kent Community Athletic Complex. Mike Renier with you as the Cougars up by 8 points. A 14-6 first half lead. And the Cougars kicking it away to the Brantford Bisons, who will have the first offensive possession of the second half. And along with that penalty against Chatham-Kent at the end of the first half. Good field position here for the Bisons. They will start off this drive and around the 47-yard line on their own side of the field. Bisons have to be pretty happy with how the first half went, only down by 8 to the first-seeded Chatham-Kent Cougars. Certainly within striking distance. Big possession here for both sides of the football. Cougars defense wanting to come up large. They're going to go to the air on 1st and 10. Brantford will, and that's a completed pass, a first down and a whole lot more past the 40-yard line. Big pickup for Nolan Ansiu. Shumansky helping to bring Ansiu down past the 40-yard line, so a big first play of the second half. Bring the football to close to the 38-yard line. And they go to the ground this time on 1st and 10 up to the 35-yard line. A nice little second effort, more yards than that thanks to Isaac Chiruka. And pretty close to the 30-yard line. 31 is where that ball comes to. So second and a very manageable 3 coming up now for Brantford as they've come out. A lot of vigor here in this third quarter. Only down by 8. Looking to narrow that gap a little bit here too. They hand it off, trying to get the needed yards, and it'll be close. Looks like he gets up to the 30-yard line. He will be just a little bit shy of the first down, so 3rd and about 1 now for Brantford, so I'm sure they're going to be going for it here.
3rd and a long 1.
Into the game, number 10, Michael Kenny. Into the huddle. 3rd and 1 for Brantford. First offensive possession of the third quarter. Cougars up by 8. In the shotgun formation. Here's Lovell with it. He will keep it himself, and he will get the necessary yardage. A little bit of a brush back past the 30-yard line, but he does get enough to move the chains, so the quarterback keeps it himself. And another 1st and 10 for Brantford. Fresh set of downs here for Brantford, and they will hand it off and right up the middle. Good job by the Cougars D as Lovell keeps it and gets a minimal gain on 1st and 10, so the Cougars able to see that one and prevent Lovell from getting more than a couple of yards on 1st down. So 2nd down coming up here, ball on the 25-yard line. Second down for Brantford. And now they go off to the left-hand side, trying to find a seam and some room to move. Looks like that's going to be enough for the 1st down, and yes, it will be confirmed. So they move the chains once again. So this is a pretty well-moving series of plays here, and it's a good drive for the Bisons as they get up to the Chatham-Kent 16 with 7:50 to go in the third quarter. Brantford very much hanging around in this football game. Once again, they go to the ground, and they move the pile up a little bit. They go with Isaac Chiruka once again on the carry as Chiruka picks up close to 5 yards. Quarterback keeps it himself. Bounces off a couple of tackles. Heading towards the end zone. Still with it. Does he make it in? Yes, he does. Touchdown, Brantford. And just like that, the Bisons are within 2 points. One of the Cougars down in the end zone. But it is a major score for the Brantford Bisons. They get to the end zone 14-12 now the score as the training staff looking after the injured Cougar in the end zone. After the injury timeout, hopefully Lucas Rupert is all right as he gets carted off the field with some coaching staff. And now the Cougars intercept the football, leaping high in the air to get that one, Corin Stewart. That's a good job by Stewart to prevent the 2 points going on the board to tie the game up. So off that long injury timeout, Brantford goes for 2. Stewart intercepts it, and the Cougars will get the football back, still up by a pair, and 6:45 to go in the third quarter. And a high kick along that far side. Who comes down with the football? Flag is down, comes back by the 45-yard line. So offside against the Bisons. They'll Kick it off once again, 6:44 to go. Darker clouds off to our west. Trying to get this game in before any kind of weather issues here tonight. It's been a beautiful day so far here at the Chatham-Kent Community Athletic Complex. The Pee Wee division moving on to the championship round next weekend with a semifinal victory over Brampton. And now the junior varsities trying to punch their ticket to the conference finals next weekend here against Brantford. But a close game here, 14-12, Cougars leading Brantford. And here's the re-kick. Up high in the air to snatch that one are the Cougars. Bringing it down to midfield is Trevor Lawton. And the Cougars will have half the length of the field on this drive with 6:41 to go in the third quarter. On 1st and 10, the Cougars go to the air, and they've got a man wide open. Nice reception and a big gain hauled in by Braden Charbonneau. And immediately a fresh set of downs for the Cougars. Nice catch by Charbonneau and a nice toss. As the ball comes to the 40-yard line of Brantford.
This response was a 41, first down Cougars.
This time a pitch to the right-hand side. Running back's got some room along the far side. Hops over a would-be tackler. Still keeps going towards the end zone. Cougars are in for a touchdown. What a big run and a big major score by Tyler Shumansky as he turns up the speed along that far sideline. Nobody could catch number 20, and Shumansky with the major score. And that gives the Cougars a bit of breathing room now, up 20-12, pending the extra kick. Stefina will try the extra point. It is up and good. So now a 9-point lead for Chatham-Kent. A 21-12 lead for the Cougars. 5:27 left in this third quarter, so that's exactly what Chatham-Kent needed. Maybe kickstart this offense, as the Brantford Bisons have come to play here certainly, and they have been a tough opponent for Chatham-Kent here this afternoon. And Brantford to get the ball back now. 9-point lead for the Cougars. And a little less than half a third quarter to go. Stefina boots it away. Good kick. Fielded cleanly by Brantford. They run it back to the 40-yard line. About the 42. Nice run back by Isaac Chiruka. He has had quite the game offensively for Brantford so far. 5:20 to go in the third. And pretty good field position here for Brantford. And a timeout for the Cougars. They'll talk some things over. 9-point lead for Chatham-Kent, 21-12 in the third quarter. Bison's back to offense after the timeout. Quarterback keeper along that far side trying to turn the left corner and getting most of the yardage needed for a first down. Good pickup on 1st and 10. And that's going to be close. And yes, it is going to be enough for the first down as they don't need a measurement by the nose of the football. Able to get a 10-yard pickup on 1st and 10, so Here's another first down for Brantford. Once again, they go to the ground along that left-hand side. Not nearly as much yardage there as the last play, but they do get up to midfield, right to the 55. Or now they're saying 54-yard line. They do get into Cougar territory, so about a 5-yard pickup. Second down here for Brantford. 21-12 for the Cougars in this conference semifinal. Under 4 in the quarter to play in this third quarter. Once again, a quarterback keeper, a fake handoff. He comes along the near side, stays on his feet. Will get first down and a whole lot more past the 35-yard line. Big run by the QB, Tay Lovell. And now Brantford continues to move the chains. Right from the 35 of the Cougars. First and 10, and now they drop the football right off the snap. Hits the turf, but it looks like quarterback Lovell able to fall forward on it and keep possession. So that's the good news, is they hang on to the football, but they do drop 3 yards, and a 2nd and 13 coming up now for Brantford. And somebody jumping. Flags come out. See who moved first. It's going to be against the Cougars. So that will now move it to a 2nd and 8 scenario. Now a fake handoff to the running back. Quarterback keeps it, dodges out of trouble first time around, but on the second chance, Cougars swarming on the quarterback level. And about 3 Cougars there to take him down, so a quarterback sack will make up for that 5-yard penalty from a play ago. They'll get that yardage back, so now 3rd and about 12 coming up now for Brantford. So decision time here as the football's at the 37. Big play here, 3rd and 12 for Brantford. Down by 9, quarterback in the gun. He drops back to pass. Cougars in the vicinity, keeps it himself, goes up the middle, and gets back to about the original line of scrimmage, but not nearly enough. And the Cougars D able to stop him on 3rd down, and they will get the football back. A 9-point lead and a minute and a half left to go in the 3rd quarter. So the Cougars take over on downs. Cougars back on offense. They hand it off and trying to cut around the corner along that right-hand side was Szymanski. Pretty good pickup for number 20 on first down. He gets out close to 7 yards on that pickup. About a 6-yard gain. So now 2nd and 4 coming up for the Cougars offensively from their own 40-yard line. They go to the air and an interception. This could be a pick six. Close race to the end zone, and do the Cougars prevent the touchdown? They do, but an interception and a big one for Brantford. Dustin Hine reading that play perfectly, getting in front of the receiver. And that is a big INT, very deep in Cougar territory, and now just a 9-point lead. Could be reduced significantly here as the football now deep in Cougar territory. 1st and goal, Brantford.
Interception has been returned to the Cougar 5-yard line. 1st and goal.
Hine with the big INT. Brantford now trying to punch it into the end zone, and they do on one play right up the middle. A touchdown for Isaac Charuka, their number 1 running back. And a 9-point lead becomes a 3-point lead, and they're going to try and kick their way even closer than that now as Brantford hangs around in this football game. 11 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Ryan Crabb on the extra point, and he pokes it through, so we're back to a 2-point game. It's 21-19 for the Cougars. Very close to a pick six, but an interception brought back to the 5-yard line and run in one play later by Charuka. 21-19 Cougars. 11 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Brantford trying that short kick, trying to get it back.
Number 55, Dennis Rhodes, falls on that loose football at his own 49-yard line.
Cougars lucky to fall on that football and keep possession here. Trying to once again answer that major score from Brantford a moment ago. Bringing it back to a 2-point game, 21-19 for Chatham-Kent. This will be the final play of quarter number 3. They hang on to the football, and they won't make it to the line of scrimmage as the Cougars will lose a couple of yards on the ground. Carried by Brandon Benoit, couldn't make it back to the line, so 2nd and about 12 coming up now for the Cougars. And that will end the 3rd quarter. So off we go to the 4th quarter in this conference semifinal. The Cougars clinging to a 2-point lead at the moment at 21-19. They've got the ball, 2nd and 12 coming up. It all comes down to the fourth quarter. We begin it now on a 2-point precarious lead by the Cougars. 2nd down and 12 as they look to keep this drive alive. Up the middle it comes, and a diving attempt at an INT. And it falls to the turf in front of the Bison defender. But a 3rd and long coming up here for the Cougars.
Cougars are faced with a 3rd down and 14 from their own 46.
Brantford Bisons certainly proving to be a tough challenge for the Cougars. Maybe a bit more than they bargained for coming into this football game. And they're now poised to get the football back. Brantford is down by 2. 11 and a half to play in regulation. And a pretty good line drive kick here by the Cougars, picked up, and some forward momentum by Brantford. They get it up to midfield and more to the 50-yard line of the Cougars. Very good run back and great field position now for Brantford, as now they have their eyes on their first lead of this football game since the 6-0 opening score way back in the first few seconds of this game. They got the first major. Cougars able to answer back with their own 7 points, grabbing a 1-point lead. They've had a slim to moderate lead since, but now it's just a 2-point edge for Chatham-Kent. Brantford with the football back. Quarterback able to keep it. Cougars trying to bring him down behind the line of scrimmage. Behind won't happen, but a short pickup. Brought down along that right side by the sideline. And a pickup of about 2.5, maybe 3 yards on the ground by Brantford.
A gain of 4 on that play. Bring up 2nd down and 6 from the Cougars 46.
Second down, Brantford. They now have nowhere to go. Right up the middle. Nice stand by the Cougars D. As Isaac Chiruka again with that assignment, but that time nowhere to go, as a couple of Cougars bring him down. So the football goes back about a yard. And 3rd and 7 coming up now for the Bisons. And it looks like there will be no personnel change. They're going to go for it here in Cougar territory. 3rd and 7, down by 2. They now fake to the running back. They go to the air, and it falls incomplete. Hits the turf. No flags, and the Cougars will take the football back. The turnover on downs. And that was a huge stand by the Cougars defense to keep their lead intact at 21-19. Right when they needed to rise to the occasion the most and stop Brantford right away. They take over on downs, fairly close to midfield. Now is the drive where you want to add on to this lead with time slowly dwindling down. And right up the middle it goes. A big run. Great job on 1st and 10. Logan Stefina on a mission. And he will get enough. He'll get about 10.5, 11 yards. That is enough to move the chains and get into Brantford territory to the 53-yard line.
First down, Cougars at the Bison 52.
Crowd starting to get behind the Cougars a bit more here. Quarterback keeper trying to find a seam along the right side. He does. And more. Bassick Haddon, 35-yard line, and just past it to the 34. Here's some offensive momentum now for the Cougars at the exact right time where you need it. Now they'll mark the football down at the 35-yard line.
Cougars on the Brantford 35.
This time they hand it off right up the middle. Some room to move towards the end zone. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Cougars! That is a big one. Logan Stefina with his second major score of the evening. And he had his sights set on the end zone all the way through. A huge 6 points by the Cougars. 27-19 now the score. Another big one. They needed a major score right there. So not only that defensive stop quickly, they get the football. They don't waste time hitting the end zone. Stefina with his second score of the night. And he's going to try and tack on another extra point to boot. And right through the uprights once again. So a huge 7 for the Cougars. 28-19 now your score. And the Cougars wanting to ask their defense to come up big at least one more time here. Keep this an 8-point lead. And try and ice this one away. Move on to the conference championship next weekend if Cougars are able to hang on here. Logan Stefina to kick this one away. And boot right down the center of the field. A multi-hopper to the 30-yard line. And the Cougars swarming quickly for no run back. And that's where Brantford will now start from their own 30. So now some energy for the Cougars and their fans and their coaches as they're trying to ride this high here to get another big defensive stop.
Bisons begin this drive at their own 32.
Brantford back on offense, looking to go downfield, left-hand side. He's got a man. Oh, and it's just past the fingertips of a sprawling Devin Pratt. Had a man open. And just past the diving wingspan of Pratt. This will be a 2nd and 10 now coming up for Brantford. Down to 7:13 to go in the fourth quarter. Quarterback now looking downfield, a little dump pass along that right side. Cougars now trying to bring down the receiver. Can't do it. He gets around most defenders, and he is away to the races. And now a flag is down. And now the receiver stops shy of the end zone. A flag is down. Let's see how this affects that play. As he stepped out, that's why he stopped going for the end zone. And now we'll see how the flag will affect this even further, if it does. And that flag will be against the Brantford Bisons. A clipping call. So objectionable conduct, clipping. And so that will bring the football back to the 45-yard line. So still a good gain there for Brantford, but not nearly as impressive with that penalty calling it back a few yards from the 45. They look downfield, quarterback level, near side, and that run and that receiver kind of lost direction a little bit, stumbles, and Chiruka let the football fall in front of him by a couple of feet. So 2nd and 10 coming up now for Brantford. Second down. This time we'll keep it on the ground, right up the middle, a big seam, and down is Chiruka, but not after he gains about 15 on that run, so more than enough to move the chains once again. Chiruka having a very, very good game on the ground for the Bisons. .525 to go in the fourth quarter. Once again, they put it in the hands of the running back, Chiruka, cutting to the left-hand side. Not nearly as much there as the Cougars' front line shuts him down. And after a gain of about 4 yards in that run from Chiruka, there's going to be a timeout called against Brantford. 5:12 remaining in the fourth. This is going to be a good finish in this conference semifinal. A 28-19 lead for Chatham-Kent. After the timeout, second down here for Brantford up the middle. It is caught and heading towards the end zone. Can he make it in? And stopped shy by the Cougars around the 5-yard line. Under 5 to go in fourth quarter. A 28-19 lead for the Cougars, but here come the Brantford Bisons. Fighting in this one right to the very end. The first-seeded Cougars, the fourth-seeded Bisons in this conference semifinal. Cougars hang on, and they will be back here next weekend in the conference finals. Heading for the league championship, but still a lot of football to go, and this will add to the drama here as Brantford gets in for the major score on the feet of the running back, Chiruka. Back to a 6-point game, 4:28 to go. And a 28-25 game right now. 4:28 left. So again, that puts the pressure back on the offense for the Cougars to respond in kind. Going for two. Trying to make this a 1-point game. And the quarterback trying to sneak himself in there, still on his feet, trying to push his way in. And he will. It is a 1-point game. The 2-point conversion is good. What a finish this sets up here in Chatham this evening. 4:28 still left on the clock, so still a world of time left in this one. And the Bisons are scratching and clawing their way in this football game. What a game we've seen here tonight. This is a dandy in this conference semifinal, 28-27 Chatham-Kent. And how important is this possession now for the Cougars? And the ensuing kickoff will head out of bounds. So the field position not too terribly bad here for the Cougars now with 4.5, just a shade under 4.5 to go in regulation. A 1-point game, 28-27 Cougars. Here we go with the Cougars back on offense. Bassick Haddon keeps it past midfield and tripped down, but that is enough for the first down. About a 12-yard run by the quarterback as he keeps it. And the Cougars have to be as determined as they've been all game long here. You'd have to figure that additional points are a must on this drive. And you've got to figure that has to come in the form of a touchdown with just a 1-point lead. And they want to have that clock tick down as much as they can, too. Flag down as the Cougars have the football close to first down yardage, about a 9-yard gain. Good yard run, or a good run there by Szymanski, about a 9-yard pickup. But let's see how this flag goes. It's going to go against the Cougars as it's in the backfield, and now they signal a Cougar infraction. That hurts. That's a holding. And it's 10 yards. It was still first down, but now you've got 20 yards to pick up. Clock back. Moving again at 3:22 to go in the fourth quarter. More real estate to cover for the Cougars. They have to hurry on this one as the quarterback keeps it. And he gets back to around the original line of scrimmage, so he gets about half of what he needs. Good job by Bassick Haddon to certainly get that much, get close to 10 on the ground. He gets about a 9-yard pickup, but it looked a lot more dire than that behind the line of scrimmage, but he was able to get out of trouble. So 2nd and 11 coming up now. And 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
The 2nd down and 11 at midfield.
Big play here. 2nd and 11. Bassick Haddon looking downfield, throwing it, and it is intercepted by the Bisons. Tay Level playing on both sides of the football and coming up huge on both sides of the football. And that could be a game turner. Let's see as Lovell has the interception. Brantford with the ball down by 1. And 2:49 to play. What a finish. We've been saying this for about a quarter and a half now. But these two teams going toe-to-toe here tonight. Now the Bisons looking for the lead off of this drive. Good job by the Cougar defense, though, that time on 1st and 10, only allowing Brantford about a 2-yard pickup.
Number 70, Brandon Donovan on that stop after a gain of about 3.
And now an infraction against the Cougars will not help the cause either. Too many men against the Cougars. Things are coming undone here pretty quickly for Chatham-Kent. Brings the football to the 49 and a fresh set of downs for Brantford. A quarterback keeper up the middle. Tay Level still with it. And he crosses midfield into Cougar territory at the 54-yard line.
Bennett hard on that stop, along with Trevor Lott. Second down and 2 for the Bisons at the Cougar 54.
Up the middle, they will have enough for the first down. They cross the 50-yard line. Another handoff up the middle and past the 45-yard line. Another assignment for Isaac Chiruka, as now we are down to 2 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. I'm sure Brantford quite mindful of the clock as well, so they're not too terribly quick on this drive. They want the clock to run down just as much now. Needing just a field goal to take the lead. Now a cutoff to the left-hand side. Cougars having trouble again getting that runner down. Finally does, though, after a minimal pickup. And it will be a yard shy of the first down, so 3rd down and 1. 40-yard line. Brantford with the football. A no bigger defensive play than right now for the Cougars. And now they hand it off to the running back, and now can he get to the first down? It's shy! The Cougars stop him! Oh my, a turnover on downs. What a huge play for the Cougars on D and on Chiruka.
Cougars take over on downs at their own 40.
88 seconds left in this fourth quarter. Not done yet, but a huge stop by the Cougars. They take the football back. And now you want to play flawless free football from their own 40. They hand it off to the running back. And a nice job right up the middle, churning his legs and getting as much as he can. Great run up the middle by Logan Stefina. He's really been one of your unsung heroes of this game here tonight. A couple of touchdowns, maybe not even unsung, but he has had quite the game on the ground tonight, Stefina. And that is a big run. About an 8-yard pickup and a timeout now for Brantford. What a roller coaster of emotions for both sides here tonight. 1:23 to go in the fourth quarter. Cougars up by 1 with the football, 2nd and 2 coming up. Off the timeout for Brantford, 2nd and 2 for the Cougars. A little fake handoff, quarterback keeps it. And it is going to be awfully close for first down. I think they've got it, though. See where they mark this football. Looks like that's going to be enough. First down, Cougars. So now with a fresh set of downs, it looks pretty good for the Cougars with 1:19 to go. And both sides are out of timeout, so this heavily favors the Cougars here to move on next weekend for the conference final. If they're able to hang on, let's see. Another couple of positive plays here. They hand it off. Big run along the far side. Down the far sideline as they look to ice their ticket to next week. The Cougars are in excellent position now to hang on and continue their postseason run. What a run. Tyler Shumansky with a huge TD run. And I think everyone now can exhale here at the Chatham-Kent Community Athletic Complex. They wanted football back next weekend. And it looks like that's what they're going to get here. 53 seconds. 7-point lead for the Cougars. We don't want to speak too soon here. This still isn't done, but a huge touchdown for the Cougars. And now to add to the drama even more, the point after blocked by Brantford. So a 7-point lead for Brantford. This one not done yet. 7-point lead for the Cougars. 53 seconds left. We continue on here tonight. Big angled kick and a line drive kick fielded by the Bisons. Again, they will have decent field position around the 52-yard line and 50 seconds left. Now, no timeouts for either side. Quarterback dropping back for Brantford. Now he's in a bit of trouble. Scampers off to his left. Now the Cougars trying to bring him down officially. And the pass falls to the turf. Good coverage on the day for the Cougars. Pass intended for Jarrett Runge, number 89. Mostly just a desperation move. Almost made it work. Just about a foot in front of his intended receiver, down to 40 seconds left now. Again, they go to the air, little slant pass, and that goes off the fingertips of the intended receiver. Cougars hop on it quickly, but that's an incomplete pass. And now 3rd and 10 for Brantford. Here it is, 3rd and 10 for Brantford. 7-point Cougar lead. Once again, they look to the air. Quarterback scrambling. Now he goes back the other way. Can they get him down? Quarterback still on his feet. 27 seconds left in the game. He scrambles for a first down and a whole lot more. My goodness, Tay Lovell keeps this game going. Level back, surveys the situation. He's got a man, and heading down that right side, it's a completed pass. First down. Ball comes up to around the 20-yard line. What a game. No quit out of this Brantford franchise here. 4th-seeded Bisons against their 1st-seeded Cougars in this division semifinal. Lovell back to pass once again. He now is right up the middle, and down it comes. They stop him, and time runs out. The Cougars win it. Oh, man. Right down to the final buzzer. The Cougars win the division semifinal. Playoff football will come back to this field next weekend. In the Western Conference Final, the 1st-seeded Cougars just get past the 4th-seeded Brantford Bisons. A 7-point win here tonight. What a football game. What an effort for Brantford. What a great game that they put forth here tonight. Full props for the Bisons as they gave the Cougars absolutely everything they could handle. And Tay Lovell, what a gifted quarterback and athlete he is. He actually played really well on both sides of the ball. just coming up short on the road here tonight. So the Cougars wasn't pretty, but they'll take it. Wasn't their best football. I'm sure a lot of young men and coaches down the field will tell you that. Not really their best foot forward tonight after an undefeated season. But they'll take the win, and they'll march to the division finals next weekend for a chance to go to the league championship on the road the weekend after. The junior varsities escape with a 34-27 win over Brantford. Their playoffs continue. On behalf of cameraman Jeff Brooks and everybody with the Chatham-Kent Cougars, the journey through the postseason continues with the JVs. Keep it right here as we continue to follow them. My name is Mike Renier.